All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography biz. We're actually going to check out, see if it's local and city, combined local city search here. Has BSS, yes or no? So we're back here in the GVC universe. So we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, standing for full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, whatever, somewhere on this profile. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. If our business is rising, if it's growing, we're probably bringing in peeps from this entire spectrum of intent, high intent over on the left, lowest intent over on the right. But if our business is falling, we're missing a chunk of people somewhere. So FSIC will kind of help reorient us what we should be doing. Now here, we only talk about BSS, talk about the highest intent people way over on the left. There's people doing social search and Google search to literally for a boudoir photo shoot in our city right now. Highest intent people closest to the money, easiest to convert. And all the way over on the right, we talk about on our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We talk about BLCS, and there's the lowest intent people, but it's the highest volume of people that exist out there in our city, people that are not currently searching for a boudoir photo shoot right at this second. So we cover both ends, and in our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, we currently only work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So on to BSS. So boudoir search sameness. BSS is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots on page 1 of Google, that means we're on page 2 or deeper. We're dead, because we know that approximately 80% of all Google searches are page 1 search only. They never even go to page 2. So approximately 80% of the market, the bulk of the market, never even sees page 2, let alone anything deeper. So we got to be on page 1. And guess what? 1 slot on page 1 ain't good enough either, because if we got there's 10 organic slots page 1 or per page on Google. So that means there will most likely be 9 other boudoir photographers all with 1 slot. Well, guess what the buyer's going to do? They're going to click and open everyone's website on page 1, because most likely they ain't going to page 2. So just page 1, contact everyone, get quotes from everyone, and actually, price shop everyone. Everyone's been price shopped against 9 others, and that's not good. It's not good enough. So that is boudoir search sameness. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. Yeah, dude, it is not normal to have such few page 1 slots on Google. And it's common, but it's not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And the 2 deeper root causes are, 1, basically everyone knows about market saturation, and 1, basically nobody knows about the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's when anyone gets a new iPhone, they throw out their Google My Business profile and their websites, and they now do boudoir photo shoots. Or they get a new camera, now they start posting in the mom groups on Facebook, saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. So market saturation, usually because of gear, new gear, and more sellers, the same number of buyers, make it difficult for every single seller. Now, there's also big market saturation that happened with COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, couldn't work, still had to earn money. Everyone's got a camera on their phone, good camera. So a lot of boudoir photographers came into the market then as well, lowering prices, lowering margins for everyone. And the false belief of page 1 equality, this is actually the #1, from what I've seen, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. And this is basically assuming everyone gets, every boudoir photographer is going to get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. And yeah, I had 1 slot there on my website, but another boudoir photographer came in, ranked above me. And yeah, I'm now on page 2, but nothing we can do. That's simply how it is. I got to accept it. Hopefully, someone deletes their website on page 1 and Google repushes me up. And so this is a false belief. This is not real. What actually is real is Google will give us as many slots on page 1 as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 in 10 days using the methodology I'm going to show in 2 pictures here. So the false belief of page 1 equality, #1 killer of boudoir photography business, is because it makes boudoir photography business owners freeze. They don't even know it's a false belief. They don't even know they don't have to accept it. So they kind of don't even break out of the brain cage to look for solutions, because they didn't even know it was a problem that they were believing something false. So false belief of page 1 equality. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Look, dude, if we got Boudoir search statements, we got 0 slots on page 1, we're only on page 2 or deeper. Approximately only 20% of searches are even seeing us. Yeah, we're disappearing, and it's the canary in the coal mine. Disappearing Boudoir photographer means our business is also on the path to disappearing as well. This is the canary in the coal mine, kind of the first signal to us that, oh man, we got to make some big changes fast. Otherwise, if we got 1 slot on page 1, not good enough either, and that's because one person could hop up from the older pages or a new Boudoir photographer, kick us off. Now we're on page 2, or even if we stay on page 1, we're getting price shopped. We're not standing out. We're being compared to everyone else who also has one link. So we're not standing out. We're not being seen as anything special. So starting our universe here. Disappearing Boudoir photographer with Boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Finally, though, we finally have a solution. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology, and we know that because I invented it, and I actually used it to go from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 on Google in 10 days. Now, S-cubed methodology, we finally got a solution to solve, market saturation, page 1 equality. And actually, it's the only thing I've ever seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully hold back and outcompete market saturation and actually allow boudoir photographer to continue to grow and scale in the face of market saturation. And the reason for that is, let's say we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's 1 million boudoir photographers total. Everyone's got a website talking about that they're a boudoir photographer. We're one of those boudoir photographers. And we actually realize, hey man, we got to turn up S-cubed methodology to the max. And the way it works is kind of exactly what the name says. We saturate social search with all the highest intent keywords with us being there. And when that happens, it's kind of like, the small rivers on the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America. When that happens, all those flow into the Amazon. That all flows onto page 1 of Google. Well, if we get enough density. And so let's say we're saturating the first 300 slots across all social search avenues for the highest intent keywords. That flows onto Google. Let's say we're also, simple example, we're also saturating the first 300 slots in Google for the highest intent keywords in our city. Well, that means when a buyer is searching for a boudoir photo shoot right in their city, it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're occupying the first 30 pages of Google. And the other 999,999 boudoir photographers start on page 31 of Google. Ain't no buyers going to page 31. Nope. Ain't no buyers going there. Which means we're the easiest to find. We're showing up everywhere. We are basically kind of the only one peeps can find an organic Google search. And so guess whose business is still growing in the face of 999,999 other boudoir competitors? Ours. So we're dominating social search, which flows into page 1 Google search and actually flows into some other places, which we'll hear about at the end. This is S-cubed methodology. This is the only thing that I've seen that can happen, get the results super fast to stave off and overcome market saturation. The only other thing, there is a second option, is brand. But that takes years, potentially even decades to build. We ain't got decades anymore. We need results ASAP. So S-cubed methodology is the only thing that I'm seeing that fits this criteria. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. A bonus side effect of achieving page 1 visibility is we are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Yeah, that's right. So for every single page 1 slot we take from a competitor, that we get on Google, we're taking it from a competitor and we're pushing one more competitor off page 1. But we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even go to page 2. They're page 1 only searches, which means, yeah, we're getting more slots on Google page 1, but guess what? For the 80% bulk of the market that we want to come into us, we're actually disappearing our competitors that we can be price shopped against, and buyers ain't even going to find them. 80% of buyers that we care about ain't even going to find them because they don't go past page 1 of search. So this is a added bonus of using S-cubed methodology, kicking our competitors out. We got to scroll way farther than 80%. Ain't scrolling nowhere, and they ain't scrolling past page 1. Page 1 visibility also activates boudoir search visibility for us. Now, this means we're no longer at 0 or 1 slots on page 1. We actually have a GBC recommended minimum of getting to 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 for boudoir search visibility. That's because if we got 3 out of 10 on page 1, basically all our competitors will have 1 out of 10 on page 1. And so kind of instinctively, buyers will think, oh, why is Google recommending this person 3 different times compared to everyone else only once? They're probably really good. I should actually check them out first, or be the only person I check out. So we're gonna dominate people that got 1 slot, which is basically everyone. Very, very rare cases, someone else will have 2 slots. Extremely rare, but in that extremely rare case, we're dominating them as well. So that's boudoir search visibility. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So here's our entire micro universe. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. But finally, yes, we do have a solution for this, our S-cubed methodology, which we created. And we achieve page 1 visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and we have boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results use an S-cubed methodology for myself. So I want to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. So when I use S-cubed methodology because I created it, so I know how to do it. And we see organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Organic slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. So I did this in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 slots, Google page 1 organic search, to 9 out of 10 slots, Google page 1 organic search in 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. Can brand overcome market saturation that fast? There's no time to build a brand. We got AI coming taking people's jobs. There's no time. We're out of time to build a brand. We need a faster solution that gives faster results, get us on page 1 of Google, get us dominating, get us kicking our competitors off. Now, main event here, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business, going to check out their local and city search. Looks like we got them combined here. Their local and city search, and see if they got BSS, yes or no. So we're going to Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, so we're over here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Let's see what we got. Kalamazoo. All right, boom, we got one. All right, boom, we got 2. All right, so we got, all right, so for local / city search combined, we got 2 out of 10 page 1 slots in Google, so do not have BSS, but we are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search. And so these are the results that we see. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you're seen in, you had BSS for at least one of them, or you did not hit the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search for at least one of them, those high intent keyword searches. And you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You kind of broken through that mental barrier and understand, wow, Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. And you have, you've decided you need the solids. You're saying S-cubed methodology is the only solution for this. You like the initial benefits, which is, 1 slot, more slots page 1 Google search. You like the other initial benefit, kicking your competing boudoir photographers off page 1, relegating them page 2 or deeper, making them invisible. You actually like that one the best. And you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps, new gear over time, more boudoir photographers over time, blah, blah, blah. And you're looking ahead and you're saying, wow, AI is taking a lot of people's jobs right now. And last time a lot of people lost their jobs, COVID, massive market saturation occurred. So you're like, uh-oh, even more market saturation is going to occur this time because this is actually going to be permanent job losses as AI is taking more and more people's jobs as it gets more, as AI gets more and more powerful. So you're like, all right, there's going to be more and more big flood of boudoir photographers into my area competing. So you're actually realizing you actually have to fortify your position on page 1, not just get these slots, but actually fortify your position so much where you have so many backup links that Google wants to rank for you on page 1, but you've already taken up too many slots where Google puts those links, page 2, 3, and 4, and you're kind of filling up those positions where Google wants to rank those on page 1, but you already got too many slots. You've already basically taken all of them up. And so you want to fill up kind of your backlog of links to fortify your position, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is, below sea level. fortify your position so basically no other current competing boudoir photographer can ever rank page one Google search, and also so that basically no other new boudoir photographer coming in to the marketplace because they lost their job to AI can ever rank page one Google search either. And you see, and for that benefit, to do that fortification, SQ methodology is the only solution out there that enables that benefit with the massive number of links that it can produce. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you understand that you need these things in order to be on your path to become the number one boudoir photographer in your city. You also like the future benefits of SQ methodology. Building the brand approximately 8x faster than normal methods because we're doing so much more volume across so many more surfaces than anyone else in your area. And you're actually you also understand doing SQ methodology is building up all these invisible thematic keyword columns, a cluster of keywords that we're plugging into your brand, kind of out there in the internet, invisible cyberspace. Your brand name, your website, your business name, your social handle names, kind of connecting to all those. And this feeds into the AI, backend AI mindshare with those keywords. And as a result, every day you successfully execute SQ methodology, we are increasing the probability that AI recommends us in search positions such as this, AI overview, most premium search placement here. It's organic. Nobody can pay for this. And also increased probability of showing up in AI search apps, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And these AI search apps increasing, dude, every single day in usage. Google standard search slowly declining every single day in usage. And the last time I did search for boudoir photographers with AI search in a city, it was a ChatGPT that gave me 3. I actually then went and did a manual search, Google and Facebook. And dude, I found like 60. So we need to get these AI overview slots and chat AI chat app recommendation slots, one of these 3 as fast as possible, because this is where all the attention's going. So you see an SQ methodology as the only solution out there that can enable all this in a relatively quick time frame. And you also understand that since I'm only working with one boudoir photographer per city as my current plan, that you can actually get all these benefits, build up a massive gap between your competitors, and actually prevent your competitors from using this technology. And for that reason, you've decided to become be a number one, first mover in your city for this technology. And that's because you understand the converse, where if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs on with me first, they're getting all these extra page one links, pushing you off page 2, 3, 4 deeper, fortifying it themselves page one. So you'll basically never have a shot to ever even rank page one Google search. Building up the backend AI keyword mindshare, massive gap between you and them, kind of that mindshare momentum. And in order for you to compete, you'd have to actually rederive SQ's methodology. You'd also have to increase, basically, well, you'd have to equal our output, but all that would every single day, but all that would do is, maintain the gap me and your competitor currently have ahead of you. So you'd have to actually outwork us 2 to 3x every single day. But you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy, the technology correctly in the first place. And so as a result, you are, you'd have to you wouldn't even be confident to put in the time. And if you did, you'd be like, man, who's got 80 hours to do all this work? So as a result, hearing all this, like, yeah, screw that. I ain't doing all that. You decide to be the first mover. Hit us up first, be the first one in your city to utilize this new technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed to new patients for new patient intake, but once we open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.